Stephen A. Smith, aka Stephen A. Snitch. Shout out to Ticket TV, right? Stephen A. Smith is now backtracking like the prime, like prime Deion Sanders in Atlanta. Bronny has a decent game the other night. All of a sudden, I see this ninja Stephen A. Smith backtracking everything he says, even in the clip that I'm about to show you, where he even admits he didn't even watch him in high school. He didn't even watch Bronny in high school. That's a damn shame. And by the way, shout out to, I want to give a brief shout out to Manosphere Highlights Daily. I just want to give him his propers because he had showed he had dropped a video where he was critiquing Stephen A. Smith. He said Stephen A. Smith was in the wrong, right? For what he was doing. And you had all these dudes all up in the comment section disagreeing with Manosphere Highlights Daily. Oh man, this is the first time I disagree with you, man. Oh, I can't rock with you with this one. Stephen A. Smith was right. I'm like, y'all niggas is sticking up for Stephen A. Smith? That clown over LeBron? Wow. I was shocked. I was really shocked that people were defending Stephen A. Smith's buffoonery. That was very interesting to me. Wow. But anyways, let me just show you something real quick. Let me show you Manosphere Highlights Daily's channel because I want to give him his propers. Let me see. Oh, what in the hell? Here we go. Let me show you his channel. So he had dropped that video. LeBron checked Stephen A. Smith over Bronny, and he was right. And I sided with LeBron too because Stephen A. Smith, with that video that he dropped, I'm pleading with you as a father. Please, man, stop. And let's keep it a bug. A lot of these people are critiquing that got words for Bronny. They're just trying to attack LeBron through his son. Let's keep it a bug. Anyways, I got the ether though. I got the video. I got the video. Right? Fair use, by the way. Fair use. Because I can't believe Stephen A. Smith did this after talking all that ish and then going on a whole tour talking about LeBron was weak for approaching him. Wow. Anyways, let's play this video. Fair use. And I'm going to take my time with this video. I don't want people in the comments talking about, man, just get to the video, man. Nope. Too many people were hating for no reason. Too many people was hating for no reason. So I'm gonna take my time on this one. Fair use.
Stephen A., what did you think of Bronny's performance last night?
I was very impressed. I was very impressed because I saw an elevation in his level of confidence and poise. It was like it didn't really faze him. He didn't look.
Now, off rip, what he's describing about Bronny, plenty of people have been saying that like if you watch this game in high school, that's kind of how he plays. Very poised, doesn't really force things, lets the game the game come to him. Pause. Right. This is how he was in high school, but I don't know why people just dismissed this, but his heart stopped right before his freshman season in USC was about to start. That kind of derailed a lot of things, and he came back really relatively too quickly, in my opinion. But he was behind schedule because of his health, not necessarily because of his skills, right? But you know, a lot of the normies they don't really know that. So sorry, my bad. I'm gonna let it play.
Is nervous as he had looked in previous appearances on the basketball court. He looked like somebody that belonged. Now, obviously, Milwaukee gave it to them last night, but just looking at the Lakers without LeBron, without Luka, without Rui Hachimura, without Austin Reeves, of course, that put Bronny James in a position where he could get his 30 minutes. But give credit where credit is due. There were some moves that he put out on the court: ball handling skills, getting to the basket, finishing at the basket, pulling up the jumpers, hitting a three, 17.7 to 10 shooting from the field. I was impressed. Okay, this is the big picture here that I want to bring up.
Let me be very, very clear, head ass. Oh man, and plus I was surprised the people that was on Stephen A. Smith's side. It said Stephen A. Smith was right for what he was doing. I couldn't believe it. I was like, damn, y'all really hate LeBron that bad. Damn. Like, hey, I'm like I said, I'm not exempt from LeBron hating because when I was younger, I used to definitely kick his backside in when I can. With a lot of players also, but LeBron no different, right? But as I've gotten older, you kind of grow out of that kind of stuff, especially I'll say around 2014, 2015. I would really say I'll say high school actually, really. So that's what 2012, yeah, around 2012, 2013, you just kind of grow out of it. And maybe I softened up on LeBron when he finally won a championship with the Heat, but overall that the hate has to stop. The unnecessary hating, you know what I mean? And I've already explained in my live stream why I think a lot of the basketball fans or basketball purists, I put in quotation marks, right? I have a theory on why they be hating on LeBron for no reason, but that's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with that, but I have a theory on that. But you can watch that on my live stream that I did about this situation already.
I might have been wrong. Are you listening, LeBron James? Are you listening, James family? Are you listening, Rich Paul? Are you listening, all you people? Because here's my position. My position was all along, Bronny James needed to be in the G League. Put him in the G League, let him be in the G League his first year. And then after that, let him come on, because I've always believed that this kid has the potential, once I watched him, to be in the NBA. But what I saw last night made me say to myself, wait a minute. He keeps showing up and playing like that. JJ Redick and his staff obviously doing an exceptional job coaching him.
Backtracking Stephen A. Smith. Because look, I hope y'all got some people are gonna have to answer for being on Stephen A. Smith's side, because he's doing a whole lot of backtracking, doing a lot of slickish. But that's a typical, Stephen A. Smith move. Very typical from Stephen A.
The G Leaguers obviously doing a good job of preparing him sitting on the bench, learning, watching the Lakers players, being in practice with them sometimes. Evidently, that seems to be working for him. And if that kind of stuff continues, then indeed he'll be in the league as a bona fide player sooner than later. One game does that make that determination. You need to do more than that. But I wanted to make sure I emphasize that point. And the reason why I want to make sure I emphasize that point, Molly, is because when I was approached by Pops, okay, at courtside and all of this other stuff, I will contend till the cows come. Yeah, tell me about it. I will contend till the cows come home. I was never disrespecting Bronny James. I was the one that didn't watch him in high school, because I didn't want to.
So let me rewind that part real quick, because Stephen A. Smith's gonna expose himself really bad here. And what I actually explained in that video, and what also Manosphere Highlights Daily was also explaining, which I couldn't understand why people didn't see it, but watch this. He's gonna expose his ignorance right here.
High school, because I didn't want to judge him like I would have had to had I gone disrespecting Bronny James. I was the one that didn't watch him in high school, because I didn't want to judge him like I would have had to had I gone to his game. I didn't go to his college games at USC because he had the heart condition. I waited and waited and waited until he got to the pro level, because I wanted to give the kid a chance, because obviously being LeBron James' son puts him in a very precarious position.
So here he admits he didn't do his research on Bron. Really, he's acting like he was just giving him a chance. No, you just were too lazy to do the research to really look at him. And if you did look at him without your hating the hating goggles on, you would have been fine with Bronny and where he was drafted. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna let Stephen A. Smith explain himself, and then I will explain my theory on why people hate LeBron James at the end of this video.
So
and why they're using Bronny as a gateway to kind of take stabs at LeBron, but they won't admit it.
That I was disrespecting his son, it's a lie. It is false. We have numerous tapes that show I did not do that, but I did.
No, you were disrespecting his parenting and using LeBron's son's his struggles as a way to take shots at LeBron personally, because people don't understand LeBron's camp and Stephen A. Smith, they've been in a beef for a while, because back then Stephen A. Smith used to get like exclusives from LeBron's camp. They used to be on good terms, and mainly was because he used to debate Skip Bayless on First Take. So LeBron's camp mistakenly took that as, oh, Stephen A. Smith is on our side, right? But people didn't understand. Stephen A. Smith has always been a Kobe Bryant guy. He's always been a Michael Jordan guy. He used to brag about having having Michael Jordan and Kobe's number, especially Kobe's number. He used to brag about that literally all the time, and Carmelo Anthony's number, and et cetera, right? So that's what I used to tell the LeBron stands at the time. I'm like, well, he's not really on your side. It's just Skip Bayless is just so ridiculous with his takes on LeBron, so much so that he has to defend him, right? So somewhere around, I think 2015 or 2014 or 2016, it's one of those 3 years. I can't pinpoint it for the life of me. I don't know why I can't pinpoint the specific year, but LeBron and Stephen A. Smith kind of went out of talking terms. And that reason, in my opinion, I think the reason why is because Stephen A. Smith was never going to say LeBron was the GOAT. That's my opinion. So LeBron's camp kind of fell out with Stephen A. Smith, and Stephen A. Smith was mad that he couldn't really get the exclusives that he wanted, like he used to from the LeBron camp. And Stephen A. Smith started basically taking shots back at that camp for being them. You know what I mean? So these are the things that you have to be able to look at and see, because these are the things that go on in the background.
Believe that he belonged in the G League to get himself honed for the NBA level. What may have been wrong about that is that evidently being around JJ Redick and that staff and being around Pops and the rest of the Los Angeles Lakers, combined with the G League going back and forth, may be doing wonders for him sooner than we anticipated. Because I liked what I saw last night, and I'm gonna keep the same energy. When he plays well, we're gonna give him props. When he doesn't play well, we're going to say so. That's what happens with covering the league. Maybe it's
Homie, all you had to say in the beginning is, look, Bronny's not playing well, but at the same time, it's his first year. He's not developing, blah, blah, blah. But that whole nonsense with, I'm begging you, please, as a father, blah, blah, like you was doing too much, Nick. Like he's never gonna admit this, but he was doing too much. Because there's a easy way to explain when especially when Bronny got cooked by Tyrese Maxey. All you had to do was like, hey man, he got cooked, but this is his first year. It's his first year. He's a second round pick, 55th pick overall. Like, he's gonna have growing pains. You know what I mean? And then all you had to do was he said he did he say he'd even follow him in the G League? So this dude did like no research really on LeBron, not even with his progress in the G League. That's why he got a chance versus Philly to come on, especially because they were shorthanded. So these are the things that he himself is admitting he didn't do the research on. And you had whole ass niggas in the comment section. Let me show you. Because if you look at that Manosphere Highlights Daily video, all of them, Bronny's a millionaire, blah, 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 right? LeBron was just being sensitive. You know, that's all of the comments. If you look at the video, somebody said lost the plot on this one. Somebody said first time I disagree with MHD. You dropped the ball on his take, etc., etc. I was shocked. I was really shocked. I was really shocked, man. You know, people took Stephen A. Smith's side. I was very shocked. Now, enough of that video, because I can't really stand to hear Stephen A. Smith talk a whole lot, especially at my age. Respectfully. And like I said, I say that respectfully. Here's the thing, right? When it comes to the LeBron haters. In the game of basketball, there's a lot of what we call basketball purists that just cannot get over the MJ era / Kobe era, but specifically the MJ era, right? They just can't let the 90s go. And if you're not shooting pretty jump away faders like fadeaways like MJ, right? Or shots, taking difficult shots like Kobe, they're not going to respect your game. And then on top of that, there's a lot of basketball fans or guys that used to play in high school, middle school, etc. They believe that the only reason why they couldn't make it pro is because they weren't tall enough, right? So guys like LeBron James, you know, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and to a lesser extent, Luka Doncic, right? They look at guys like that and they're just like, they're not really pure basketball players because they rely a lot on their physicality or their physical gifts to get to where they need to be. So the quote unquote basketball purists, they don't look at somebody like a LeBron James. They don't look at him as a real basketball player. I know it's petty and childish, but this is what I believe is the background reason on why you'll have basketball fans and people have a certain hate for LeBron, right? That's just my opinion. And there's something, there's something, psychological with that, with, LeBron James. He basically represents, like, because I'm pretty sure every former basketball player that played in high school, they always had that story about that one kid that they had to face, and they feel like that kid really wasn't that good. It's just that he was just taller than everybody else, and he was able to put the numbers that he was putting up because he was physically bigger than everybody else. If you look at most NBA players' highlights when they were in high school, a lot of them they were a beast in high school, not necessarily just because of their skills, but because they were just bigger than everybody else. Now, my retort to that is, then just play another sport. Basketball is a big man's game. When I was in 6th grade, I knew I was going to be like 6 feet tall or a giant, one of those things. So I decided to focus on something else, and I ended up falling in love with that way more than any other sport. You know what I mean? So, but that's the thing, particularly with the basketball heads, they only grew up with is either basketball or bust. They never thought about playing no other sport. So there is a kind of a resentment for a guy like LeBron James or Giannis Antetokounmpo. And then I'll bring up Giannis Antetokounmpo as an example, because remember what James Harden had to say about him, right? That's just the typical mentality of the so-called basketball heads, the basketball hype beasts, right? The basketball purists. right? So that's kind of the background reason why they hate on LeBron. So much so that they will take out, their resentment of LeBron on his son, And I think LeBron has done a great job as a parent with his sons, his daughter. I think he's been exemplary, right? And um, I don't understand why people have crap to talk about LeBron in terms of his parenting, and to the to the dumb A's, right? That's about, but LeBron didn't pull up on Skip Bayless. I'm like, guys, when did Skip Bayless ever talk crap about LeBron's parenting? And they can never answer me that, right? They can never give me an answer for that. Skip Bayless has never talked about LeBron's parenting. In fact, Skip Bayless goes out of his way to praise LeBron off the court. Anything that Skip Bayless understands LeBron is his moneymaker, so he'll just hate on him. But he doesn't really hate LeBron James like that. And he'll talk about everything that he does. Like, even remember when LeVar Ball was getting famous, and Skip Bayless would be like, man, I love LeVar. He said, I wish I had a father like LeVar Ball. Right? So this is the type of person Skip Bayless really is. He's a crafty troll. You know what I mean? And by the way, Skip Bayless is also, he's very smart. He's not going to be showing up courtside on no NBA game. He's not going to do that to himself, because it's not just, you think it's just people, you think it's just LeBron going to run up on Skip Bayless. There's a lot of people that want to run up on Skip Bayless. I'm talking about a lot of people. He can't show himself courtside nowhere, sideline in the NFL nowhere. Please. So all that talk about, oh, he didn't run up on Skip Bayless, like, guys, stop. But anyways, that's really my take on that situation. And it's very interesting because when I saw that video of Stephen A. Smith backtracking all of his critiques after going on a world tour, call it LeBron James Week, and etc., I found that very interesting. And also when Manosphere Highlights Daily defended LeBron, I was very shocked that all of the comments were defending Stephen A. Smith, right? So let me know what you think in the comment section. Am I wrong? Am I right? Let me know. Please like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for listening to this video.